Welcome, traders and investors, to this deep dive into the intricate landscape of Amibroker. Today, we embark on the comprehensive exploration of the platform's interface, delving into its extensive features and mastering the art of seamless navigation. Whether you are a seasoned professional navigating market complexities or a newcomer looking to harness the power of Amibroker, this tutorial promises to unravel the platform's complexities. So without wasting any further time, let's directly jump into the application. So this is the window that opens when we open the Amibroker application. So here you can see different options that are available, the standard options like file, edit, view, insert. So these are the options using which you will be able to create new database, open an already existing database, import data into an open database, import the historical data into it, and then there are options to edit a quotation or a session. This is mainly for a data feed that is coming in, and then you have different kinds of toolbars available, and then once we open a database and a chart in it, you will be able to see different options coming in, which will allow us to draw different kinds of lines on the chart. So there are different options available, like symbol. When you have a database open, you will be able to add a new symbol to it and then either import historical data into it or get data through a live data feed. And there are different analysis and the tools windows that are available. Before going in detail into this, let's see how we can create a new database. So first we need to do a file, new database, and here it gives us the default path to Amibroker databases folder and gives a default name called my new data. I would just rename this as demo database, and then I would say create. This would create a folder by name demo database, and here we can select which kind of a plugin we would need. If you have data feed, live data feed being taken from one of these data vendors, you can select that. Otherwise, if you are just using this for local exploration where you would import the data manually, you can select local database here. So if you have data feed being taken from any of the other data providers, they would provide you a plugin which you need to install. When you install that plugin application, that option will come here, plugin will appear here, and you will be able to select that. So here we will select local database for now, and once you select that, the local data storage has to be enabled. This is the recommended setting, and then the number of bars, by default it will be set to 1000. You can set it to a higher number. This will mainly allow you to store that much of data in the database. Okay, so for example, here you can see approximately 208 days of data and around 3 MB per symbol is what it can store. So if you want to store historical data more than that, for example, I have just added one more zero here, and here I can see up to 8 years of historical data is what I can save. Okay, so let's keep it to this number. And the base time interval, there are different options that are available here, starting from 1 second to 1 tick. Usually we would keep it as base time interval as 1 minute. And intraday settings, this is something which you need to set when you are having live data feed coming in. Otherwise this really doesn't make sense much. If you have data imported already using historical content, these options would also allow you to select how much of chart would be visible for you. Okay, so for example, filtering, we will set this to 24 hours trading, because even if we have split hours of exchanges for the commodities and all, this would still be managing with this. And either we could filter the weekends or leave it as it is, that is not a problem. And the trading hours is something which you need to set. So it gives settings for split hours as well. So by default, the day session is kept at 9:30 and 4 o'clock. This you can change always. So I would change it to 9:15, and this I will change it to 3:30. So This is the settings that we would keep only for the day session. Let's say if you have historical data which you need to import even for the commodities and the second session as well, you can configure it accordingly. And the date time compression users, set it to exchange time because that is what is the preferable option. And then the weekly time compression users, the first day of the week as Monday here. This is mainly to make sure if you are looking at a weekly option, weekly chart, from which date to which date should be considered as 1 week. That is the setting that you would set here. Typically in our case, we would set it as Monday. So it doesn't matter really even if you set it as Saturday or Sunday, because that's the whole week that will be considered. Monday to Friday is what will be considered. So first day of week will be considered as Monday. And rest of the settings, you need not do any modification unless you have specific settings to be done, like time shift. If you have the historical data in one zone and you want to use it in a different zone altogether, then you need to use that time shift as well. And allowing of mixed EOD and intraday data, you can set that option, but if you are using local database, it really doesn't matter whether you tick this or not. And requesting the data on save, this, as it is mentioned here, it is mainly for the external real-time sources only. What this would do is when you save the database, it would request for the data again and fetch it and then save the database. So this setting will not be required really if you are using a local database. Yeah. Once all these settings are done, we would just select OK and we would click on OK here. And this is a pop-up that Amibroker gives in general, saying that specifying high number of bars to load is allowed, but it can degrade the performance. This is because we had set a huge number here. We had set a huge number here, but this would degrade the performance when there is too much of data processing which is ongoing, but it is allowed by the tool as such. So we would just say OK for this. And now here you can say on the right bottom, you will be able to see the database name DemoDB, which has got created. Now inside this, we need to go on creating different charts. Okay, let's do that next. So in order to open a new chart here, we will go to File, New. Instead of database, we will select blank chart. Okay, so here you can see a blank chart that has got created, and as you can see here, nothing is appearing because of two reasons. One is that we have not loaded any chart into this, plus since this is a new database, we do not have any data also imported into this. So first let's see how to import the data. So we will go to File, Import Wizard option, and here you can select Pick File. Here I have a sample data of Sensex that is already present with me. This is the historical data file. I will select that and click on Next. It would show me the sample that is present in the file. So it has ticker, date, time, open, high, low, close, and volume. So as you can see here, the same name should be matching here. So for example, if you see here, ticker is in column 1, date is in column 2, but third column we have time. So we need to select this, change this to time, and column 4 is open. This is high, this is low, and this is close. Since we have volume information as well, we can click on more columns here, and column 8 would appear, in which we can select volume. So if I had open interest also as part of this file, it would have come in this entry, and then I could have selected open interest as well. Since it is not there, I have selected only these. When we select any particular symbol, we can add it into something called as a group or a watch list. I will tell you in detail later on about what this group and watch list mean and how it will be helpful. But just for now, understand that when you are importing the symbol, you can also select the group to which it would belong and watch list to which you can give. By default, group 255 will be selected and none of the watch lists will be selected. You can leave this as it is when you are importing, because even at a later point of time, even after you import a symbol, you will be able to still map it to a group and a watch list. And the separator is a comma here, so that is the reason a comma is selected. You have different options as well which you can select from. Okay, now skip first I would say 1 lines, because as you can see here, the first line doesn't contain data. It's actually a heading for us informing what is there in that file. So I would say skip the first 1 line and then go to next and say finish. Okay. Now in the symbols section, I will be able to see the Sensex index name coming in because I have imported the data for that. Now the reason why it is not appearing here is because I haven't selected any chart. So I go to the charts pane here and select out of the basic charts. I would select price and drag drop here. I can select OK. Here you can see the chart appearing now. So this is how we will be able to create a database and import data, historical data into it, and open the chart in which the data would be visible. In the further sessions, we will look further into what are the different options that are available for us to modify the chart, put our own indicators, write our own indicators into the chart, and further details that we will be discussing in the upcoming videos. So as we conclude this first session on the in-depth exploration of Amibroker's interface, basic features and navigation, consider this just as the beginning. In the subsequent videos, we will dissect specific functions and unlock the potential of advanced features. And do not forget to hit the like button, subscribe, and ring the notification bell, ensuring you stay at the forefront of our ongoing Amibroker tutorials. Until then, immerse yourself in the world of charts and trades. Happy navigation.